We actually have our outreach plan on our website, which you can download if you really want to see specifics.
The optimism in this film is wonderful. Not just knowledge contagious, optimism is contagious. But the question, I have so many questions and thoughts about all these issues. But the main one would be, how do you think all this, really, it's fantastic to know that you're going to be showing it, that there's so many requests already and so on. But how do you think all this increasingly kind of groundswell of literally grassroots movement towards healthier, more eating will actually meet with policy? The policies around this really need to change from up top. Do you think it could ever happen? Do you think we could ever counteract the big corn people, the big battery chicken people, the big polluting cow people? Is that going to happen?
I won't address the cow polluting people. This is happening right now. So it's interesting, 10 years ago people would say, do you think the policies would change? And of course all of us who are very optimistic would say, sure, someday, we see it, we're all working toward it. I think it's here. I think it's coming. It's films like this. It's voices of young people who care about this issue more than just a soundbite. In our campaign, we started off with 500,000 kids across the country who were watching Nickelodeon and saw our campaign and logged onto the website to say, I want to take charge of my health. And we thought that was it. But they came back to us and said, now what do? I want to learn how to be healthy. I want you to define that for me. I want to know what that means. And that's the importance of the education. Young people are hungry for it. There's a lot of mixed messages, a lot of marketing. And so that behavior change for them, I think, comes first. The second part is they want to be active. I believe that we sitting on this panel and you in the audience can be great advocates and great voices, but until young people themselves, until we can strongly elevate Sadie and Sophia's voices and all the other young people in the film to take them to the hill and for them to be the spokespersons on this issue, those policies will begin to change. We're seeing it already around competitive foods and beverages in schools. That's going to be gone soon, and that's because young people have been sharing with their legislators, policymakers, and decision makers the challenge that they see in their schools. So I think it's important for all of you to reach out to your decision makers and policymakers and tell them what's important to you, because I think there is a lot more education around this issue. I think the research is strong on the problems that are arising from a health perspective based on the food we eat. And so we just have to be clear to them that we want to see that result in policy change. So I think it's happening. The grassroots will bubble up probably even before the top. But I think this is finally the time where the two are happening at the same time.
I also think it'll come down to money. I think that health reform, if they really want to do it properly, they're going to have to address the preventative issues. And so I think that they may have to change some of the federal food policies in order to make health reform viable. So that's my personal opinion, but it might be the way that it gets addressed at the top level, not just from the bottom up.
I really like how you guys intertwined the environmental kind of question that's going on with the food question, but being a New York City resident and seeing a lot of community gardens and people creating their own local in their home gardens, or what do you call it, the windowsill gardens. I think my concern with a lot of the local stuff personally, I don't know if this is perceived for real, is that, yeah, it's local, and so I'm reducing the carbon imprint of bringing it from maybe a farm in middle America, but then I look out and see the smog, and know this is an industrial area, and I'm like, what's in the ground here? What are you digesting by, having it more local than maybe in an open air farm that's a little bit further away?
I share your concern as well. That's actually something that I have always been concerned about.
I enjoyed the film. I thought it was fantastic. And knowledge not only being contagious is enlightenment. I was enlightened with the walnut.
That's one hell of a walnut.
Where burned. I know there's many issues that needs to be addressed and certain things that need to be changed. One simple thing I think that we can do is have the children not sell chocolate candy bars and all those other things. Maybe they can sell walnuts and almonds and dried fruits.
Good idea. I've said that to kids on the subway. I'm like,
okay.
If only you had a banana.
Yeah.
They look at me like I'm crazy.